Hi, so glad you're here today, artists. I'm so glad you're joining me because today we are going to do a Romero Britto inspired piece. I want to show you a few of his works of art. These are just a couple of examples, and you can see they're very bright and very colorful, and they have some very distinct lines to separate shapes here, which makes it really exciting and interesting for us to look at. Romero Britto is a pop artist. He's from Brazil, and so the pop artist uses really bright colors usually and really distinct or dark. See these dark lines that are in here? And maybe is not using the typical colors that we would think of. This apple does have some red in it, but an apple does not have patterns on it. Even though it doesn't look exactly like an apple, we can still tell that it's an apple. So today we are going to be getting to do our own pop art pattern filled piece. We're going to be creating a leaf. We're going to draw it with pencil. We're going to trace it with bingo daubers. We're going to add in some color and then add in patterns. So let's get started.
Let's get started creating your own piece of pop art. Draw a line right down the center of your paper, or close to the center. Mine isn't quite in the middle. That's okay. And then go ahead and draw your leaf shape. Don't be afraid to erase. Think about what leaves might look like. My leaf has a bunch of pointy edges. Now to make it symmetrical, the same on both sides, I turn it upside down because it's easiest for me to draw with my dominant hand on that side of the paper. Then a stem. Erase the line that's in the center of your stem. Now we're going to add a bunch of straight lines. Remember in those examples I shared? There were straight lines cutting through the different shapes. These lines do not have to be symmetrical. They do not have to be the same. Go ahead and add them inside your leaf and outside your leaf. Make sure you leave them kind of big, because when we trace over these with either a Sharpie or a bingo dauber, it's going to be tricky if you have really small and tight lines. Now, as you see, I'm tracing over with Sharpie. You may choose if you would like to use Sharpie or a bingo dauber to trace. Remember, with those bingo daubers, you need to be careful not to press or squeeze so that the ink comes out at just the right speed. All right, it's time to erase those pencil lines. Make sure they're all gone. Then we get to add color. We're going to be using oil pastels. Make sure there are not any peekaboos. We don't want any white paper peeking out. As you add color, please make sure that sections having the same color are not touching. So if I color a red section, there should not be any red next to it. If I color a blue section, there shouldn't be any blue next to it. Go ahead and fill every single box in. Now this is the fun part. We get to add a second layer of color. Remember all those patterns? You're going to have one of those papers at your table to kind of give you some ideas. Then after you add all the patterns, you get to sign your name and you're done. Remember to add your class code as well. Good luck. Have fun.